It is Tuesday, the 12th of November, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. You are now experiencing the cultural event known as Blaseball. It's the second day of Desert Bus Week here on Pigeon's Song of the Day, which means it's the fourth day of Desert Bus, I think. If my maths are correct, and they rarely are. Today, we're talking about a band who I love and have wanted to talk about in this podcast for a while, but there's a specific thing about their music that made me hesitate in doing it. But I realized I couldn't do a Desert Bus Week without talking about them. And that band is the Skarages, or the Garages, as they call themselves because they're American. Well, sort of. Okay. Okay, where do I even start with this? There was an absurdist horror baseball simulation interactive fiction online video game called Blaseball. Are you with me so far? Basically, it was this website. It was formatted like a text adventure, and it told you about things that were happening in this fictional game of Blaseball. Matches would start, and it would describe what was happening to you with text on screen. And Blaseball functioned like baseball, but events were randomized, as were the players and their stats, their names, their teams. Everything was randomized about it, and a lot of things in it were like supernatural or inexplicable. I did say absurdist horror. So, like, for example, occasionally during a solar eclipse, a player would be incinerated by a rogue umpire, and then they would be out of the game. That kind of thing. Very strange thing to exist, but the viewers/players could participate by voting on things to happen on occasion. I never participated in it myself because it started months before I found out about it, and it very quickly kind of locked you out of understanding what was going on if you weren't already in it, which is a shame because it has since ended. It ran from July 2020 to June 2023. Anyway, one of the teams in the Blaseball League was the Seattle Skarages, and Blaseball, being a thing that was like largely built around fan interaction, inspired a lot of fan works and fan creativity. And so there became a band called the Skarages who made music specifically about the Blaseball team, the Seattle Skarages, which is wild. And their music is really good, and the lyrics are fucking inscrutable if you know nothing about Blaseball. So I hesitated to talk about them on the show because as much as I like their songs, I often don't understand what the lyrics are about. But I know the basics of this one. The song we're talking about today is called In the Feedback. There are two different versions of the song, In the Feedback Day and In the Feedback Night. We're going to be talking about the day version, although I will mention the night version. And the reason I'm associating this with Desert Bus is I actually heard about this band and listened to them before Desert Bus 2020, but during Desert Bus 2020, they performed a set, and they started with this song, In the Feedback. And I had listened to a bit of them beforehand, but seeing their performance on Desert Bus is what got me like, yes, I'm actually actively a fan of this band now. Hell yeah. So that is why we're talking about them this week. As I say this, by the way, I'm recording this before Desert Bus has even started this year, but this year, because Blaseball is over, the Garages have announced that they're ending. They're breaking up or going on hiatus. I don't know what the full story is, but they are doing a final performance on Desert Bus tomorrow, which is to say Wednesday the 13th they're going to be performing, so that's cool. Anyway, let's go listen to the song now and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. And that was In the Feedback by the Skarages. I do want to note, by the way, when I tell you to listen to the song, I always include it as the first link in the description. And I did just listen to that version myself. But personally, my favorite version of it is the version from Desert Bus 2020. They've recorded a lot of different versions of this song. It's one of their more popular ones. But I still prefer the Desert Bus version. Not to say that the original is bad. The original is great. But I just kind of prefer MQ's voice to Rain's for that song. And that's basically it. Because I love Rain, and I love Rain's performance in other songs as well, and in this song, but I like MQ as well, so, you know, it's all just personal preference. Anyway, another thing I want to say before I start talking about the song proper, something I remembered when I was listening to it is that ages ago, when I was really big into listening to the Skarages, because it's been a while, I think I'm actually a few albums behind at this point, and they haven't released an album in like a year, but I remember I was walking to Tesco, and I saw a pigeon walking, because you know me, I keep my eyes out for pigeons. I saw the pigeon at the exact moment that In the Feedback started playing, and its head was bobbing to like the exact tempo of the guitar, you know, the way it starts off with like dun, 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 I can see the truth, and you just see this pigeon going like dun, 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 with its head bobbing along. So I always think of that now when I listen to this song. Anyway, let's talk about the song itself. So what the hell is it about? Well, feedback in the world of Blaseball is a weather-like phenomena. I'm reading a Genius annotation here for the explanation. Blaseball's feedback is a weather-like phenomenon that can make pairs of players caught in it spontaneously and permanently swap teams. The singer is scared that their beloved teammate will be afflicted by feedback, and they will both lose each other to different cities. So like I said, it's all this weird, absurd, supernatural horror stuff, but applied to a sport, or a splort, as it's actually called, I remember. And so there's this thing that can happen that just switches people's teams permanently. And so this song turns that idea into it sounding like a love song. One can imagine maybe that the players are perhaps lovers or family or something. It could help it feed into that. It doesn't say specifically which players it's supposed to be about. A lot of their other songs do call out specific players, and it even says here in the Genius description how in season 1 the team captain Jalen Hotdog Fingers was incinerated, which is something I know a lot about because they have a lot of songs about it. And then also apparently Avila Guzman was feedback swapped in season 4, so it's a whole thing. Anyway, let's go through the lyrics. I can see the truth in your eyes as you're telling me lies, like you know that you'll hold my hand again, cause you don't know you will, but I know how you feel, and I don't know if I can watch you walk out on the field. So it's like the lyrics here are one of the players saying it'll be fine, I'll be back, nothing's gonna happen, and the narrator player saying you don't know that, you don't know if something will happen or not, you don't know if we'll ever hold hands again, right? But I love the melody of this song and the way the lyrics tie into the actual meaning, because I just love the way it goes like, you know that you'll hold my hand again, and then like the way it goes like, I don't know if I can watch you walk out on the field. There's just something kind of sinister about it, even though it's like kind of a love song, but it really plays into the kind of weirdness of Blaseball, I think. And then we get the pre-chorus and chorus, and there's a lightning strike across the pitch black night. I want to hold you close, but I can't. I don't want to let you go in the feedback, because I don't know I'll get you back. I don't know I'll get you back. I don't want to let you go in the feedback, because I don't know I'll get you back. I don't know I'll get you back. So yeah, it's talking about seeing the feedback approaching, the lightning strike. I want to hold you close, but I can't. I don't want to let you go in the feedback. So it's about what I said. It's about not wanting someone to be lost to this inexplicable team swap mechanic. But it's phrased, like I said, like a love song. It's like they're singing to someone who's like moving away for a job or something and saying, don't worry, I'll be back in a year. You know what I mean? And they're like, no, I don't want you to leave because I don't know if I'll get you back, right? It's phrased that way, and I think that's interesting. And then second verse, I can feel you pull away from me. I can feel you retreat. Duty calls, you say. And then it's all of the eyes on the pitcher throwing, and it's all of the eyes on the way it's going, and you hit the ball, and then it's out of our hands. So the duty calls line is noted on Genius because there's a whole thing in the lore that the players are literally compelled to play. They can't not play. They must play, and play must continue. So when they say duty calls, they're saying that they have to go play because that's what they have to do. There is no other option. They have to go and risk it. And I love the next bit of, and then it's all of the eyes on the pitcher throwing, and it's all of the eyes on the way it's going. It's a simple rhyme, but I really like it because it's everyone watching the pitcher throwing the ball, and then the ball being hit, and then watching where it's going, and the song sounds like what's happening in the game. Does that make sense? Yeah. And then you get the pre-chorus and chorus again, and then the bridge is a little extension of the pre-chorus, and the lightning strike across the pitch black night, and then the smoke obscures the place where you've once stood, and when it clears you're just not there. And then it goes into the chorus again. So in the bridge, it's revealed that they do indeed get lost in the feedback. And then the last chorus feels so much more desperate. Yeah, it's a wild concept to have to explain all of this, but that's just how it is with Blaseball. It's truly weird, and I truly do not understand so much of it. But the music that came out of it is really good, and I do want to talk about other Skarages songs. And now that I have talked about this, I'm confident I can talk about other ones. Problem is, I want to talk about Mike Townsend Knows What He's Got to Do, but that's like the third or fourth Mike Townsend song, and I'm not ours talking about the other two for context, so I do really want to talk about Remember Them, though. What a great song that is. Anyway, that's all besides the point. Go listen to the Skarages. Go listen to the other versions of this song, including the one from Desert Bus. Watch that whole performance. It's great. And the other Desert Bus performances they've done. And watch them tomorrow in Desert Bus. And more importantly, watch Desert Bus. Go to desertbus.org to check out that fundraiser. It's currently happening. I'm recording this, like I said, before it's actually started, so I don't know how it's doing, but I am confident that it's doing well because Desert Bus always does well. I'm going to check the website right now because they open donations before it starts. They're currently at 10,000 already. Wild. And it doesn't start for another day and 4 hours. That tells you exactly when this is that I'm recording this. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Tell other people about this show. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.
I don't wanna let you go in the feedback. Anyway, I don't wanna let you go in the feedback, cause I don't... The song sounds like what's happening in the game. Do you make the sense? Do you make the sense? What nonsense was that I just said? Do you make the sense?